Hi guys, it's Amy from Nail Polish Baby 90 and welcome to today's video. Today is not a nail polish video. I thought I would shake it up. I enjoy filming other videos from time to time, and this is going to be like a tattoo story time video. I don't know if you've noticed, probably these ones you have. I have some tattoos. I have 6 and I'm going to be here to talk to you about them today. I'm not doing kind of like a tag video with this because I noticed there is a tag that's like questions and answers. This is literally just going to be a story time of what I got when and why I got it and my experience and pain levels and stuff like that. So if you want to know all about my tattoos, just keep watching. So the first tattoo I got was this one on my left wrist, and I got this when I was 18 years old, the day after I turned 18. I really wanted it for a really long time, and I kind of planned it out in my head. I went into the shop and I said that I wanted a bracelet. I had thought more like chain link bracelet with a letter A dangling from it. And the artist was really good. He said to me that he thought that the rosaries that we kind of ended up with, themed beads, would look a lot more feminine and a lot more dainty, so we went with that option. And also he did it like on a slant, so it looks like the way that like a natural bracelet would fall, opposed to having it like dead round. I'm just trying to focus in on the A. So as you can see there, it's got a little A and a little tag on it, and yeah, like I say, it's like wonky, so it looks like it's a real bracelet. A lot of people also at the time were like, is your mum okay with you getting a tattoo? But I had wanted it for about a year. My mum was fairly relaxed when it comes to tattoos. I think only once or twice she said to me like, really, must you get another one? And I was like, yeah. So she was happy with it. She was pretty relaxed. Also, I was still at college at the time and they were also pretty cool. I actually had 2 by the time I finished at college, and no one really said anything to me about it or told me off, I guess. I don't really know, because I was 18 and I could do it. The reason why I wanted the A on there is not for myself or my husband or my son, obviously, because it was a long time ago. There's a lot of A's in my life, but I think I spoke about this ages ago on my channel. But as well as my brother Jack, who is 5 years younger than me, I also have another little brother who was 3 years younger, and his name was Adam, and he unfortunately was born very prematurely and he passed away when he was very young. And I don't know, it's just, for me, it was just a way of acknowledging for me that I carry him around with me, that I don't know, I just like acknowledge his presence in the world and the stamp that he had. Like, I'll carry that around for him. Like, he's not here to walk around and make his impact on the world, so I'll take him with me on mine. So that is the reason why I got that one. It took about 45 minutes to an hour, and I would say, seeing as it was my first tattoo, the pain level was actually surprisingly a lot less than I thought. The artist that I had was very chatty and very friendly, and if you live in the UK or in Essex, I will link down below. I'll list the shops where I had each one done for you in case you want to go look at their work for yourself. About 3 months later, I decided I was ready to go back for tattoo number 2, and this one is on the top of my right foot. So I'll insert a photo for you now. And as you can see, this was again something that I went into the same shop as the first one, but it was with a different artist, and he really put his stamp of like thought on it. I went in there and said basically that I wanted 1 big nautical star and 2 smaller stars, and hopefully you can see that I've got the kind of dotacure pattern on it, where the smaller stars are made up of dots to be the outline, and this was really one of the tattoo artists that I had. It was one of like his signatures, and when I've shown it or other tattoo artists have seen it, they've recognised that it's the work of this guy. The nautical star was for my granddad. He passed away a few years ago now, and it was just because he was always near the sea, and he was a lot of his family were in the Navy, and he worked on boats his whole life, so it's kind of a homage to him and to that side of my family. And the 2 smaller shadows, one was for my brother Adam and one was for my brother Jack, so again another family orientated one. So stars are also, I don't know, stars are like a classic tattoo to get as well, so it was a little bit of that alongside of it. But yeah, that was tattoo number 2. It also took about 45 minutes to an hour, and again the pain level was low. I'll talk about, I've got one on my other foot which is a lot more painful, but where I had it on my foot quite high up and not near the toes, I didn't find that painful at all. Tattoo number 4 was my biggest tattoo, and it is on my right leg. So above that tattoo that you've just seen, we have this one. Can you see them? Can you see that? Very attractive there. Whoa. I'll insert a photo for you here. So I obviously have a set of wings either side of my leg, so it looks like I have a winged foot. And my inspiration for this was the Greek god Hermes, who of course had winged feet or winged shoes. And yeah, that's really where it came from. I really enjoy and like Greek mythology. I thought that the thought of Hermes is quite, I don't know, to me it was quite nice because he's the messenger of the gods. I just liked all that kind of mythology behind it, and I chose to just have one opposed to both of them done because I have quite a lot of things on my body that are like odd. So I have 2 piercings in one ear and 1 in the other, so I just like a bit of an unbalance. Balance to me isn't always good with stuff. I prefer to be unbalanced, if that makes sense. I know some people would be more OCD about having things matched, but for me unbalanced is better. Makes sense. That one actually took about 2 hours. It was the longest one that I had. So we did the outline on one side and he flipped my leg over and did the outline on the other side, then the shading, then the shading, then the shading. So the more painful part for me was that when he'd done one side, he flipped my leg over and then it would like press down on that leg to do the other side, if that makes sense. So it wasn't actually the tattoo itself that hurt, it was the fact that my leg was being pressed down when it got like an open wound on it essentially. It took about 2 hours, so like an hour per wing, and like I say, we just went back and forth between 2. This is also when I moved tattoo shops and I started having them done with a different guy, and the next 3 are all done with the same tattoo artists. So that number 3 was my Hermes wings. Tattoo number 4 is on my ribs. I will insert a photo, but just for reference, it's about here, just under my armpit here, and that is a butterfly, and I will insert a photo here. This one was the most painful by far. It took just over an hour to do, and it's also my only one with colour in. Some people may recognise it. It's actually from the Brand New Eyes album by Paramore. On the front of the album, the butterfly is separated into like 2 wings and a body. So we just pushed the butterfly together, made a little bit of adjustment to the pattern because some of it wouldn't translate to a tattoo. And yeah, that was there. In fact, when I was having it done, he did it smaller originally with the stencil, and I was like, we can go bigger. And I instantly, oh my god, I love the way that it looks now, and it's one that I actually forget that I have a little bit of the time because you don't tend to have that area of your body on show a lot. But yeah, this was the most painful. It was obviously on part of my ribs. Also, the day that I had it done, it was very, very cold in the studio, so that didn't really help because I was kind of like tensed up where it was cold, and then I was obviously in a bikini top having that done. But I do love the outcome. It really put me off because I was going to get some other stuff done on the other side of my ribs because I think rib tattoos look amazing, but it really did put me off, and I'm not sure if I would ever go back to the ribs again. Tattoo number 5 is on my left foot, and this is again, I'm gonna have to insert a photo for you, so let's just do that now. And it is the words Battle Born, and Battle Born is an album by The Killers. I think it's their most recent album these days, so they haven't had an album out in a while. And that album was really crucial to me at a hard time in my life. This was maybe, what, 3 or 4 years ago. To me, I just kept listening to the album and it just spoke to me, and it's like, kind of like my like the way that I think as well, my mindset anyway, is that you have to be strong. There's going to be so many things in this lifetime that are going to challenge you, and you have to be strong. You have to be born for battle. You have to be battle born in a way, because there's going to be so many things that are going to take you from left field and you're not going to know what to do. But just remember that you can always do it and you always can be strong. So that was kind of the mantra that I went with that. I actually want to add on to this tattoo and put something slightly above the wording so it takes up the whole of my foot, and I think that that's going to be the next one that I do. This again took about an hour. The pain ratio for me was more than my other foot because it's down by my toes. So the word battle hurt a lot more than the word born because it was on the side. So yeah, down near your toes is quite a sensitive area for your foot. So yeah, it was bearable, but it wasn't as fun as some of the others. Now, a couple of weeks after I got that one done, when it had healed, some of the words, there was some patches of black in there, so I went back and had them all filled in, which any tattoo artist should do. If they do like a block of colour and when it heals any of it comes out or they've missed a part, they should do that again for you free of charge. And when I was in there, I just said to the guy, would you mind doing a lightning bolt on my outside of my wrist? And he said yeah. So while I was there, I just had that one done very spontaneously. It took less than 5 minutes. He literally just drew it up, did a stencil and popped it on. This is another one that I tend to forget that I have because I don't see it really unless I have to turn around and look for it. I remember when I first started my new job, I think people were a bit caught off by it because there's not a lot of tattooed people in my office anyway, and then obviously I've got a few that are right on show, especially in the summer now with my legs out. People can see 5 out of 6 tattoos that I have. So that was the last one. I've always really enjoyed lightning bolts, I don't know why, and then also there is a Rolling Stones song that is Jumping Jack Flash, and that's obviously my brother's name, so it was kind of along a couple of reasons. It's also very strong in Greek mythology, so just a couple of things that I like that just amalgamated in this small little tattoo. So those are the 6 tattoos that I've got. If I was going to rank them in pain, the rib one would be the most painful, and then a part of my tattoo on my foot down in my toes would be the second most painful. My advice, because I'm sure everybody knows this now, tattoos are a lot more popular than when I first started getting them. I got my first one when I was 18, so that was about 8 years ago now, and I don't think there was many people around that had a lot of tattoos anyway. My husband, when I met him, had the start of a tattoo sleeve, and a lot of his family are tattooed. My brother's got quite a few now, so it's become a lot more mainstream and popular. But just make sure that anyone you go to, make sure they are a good artist. Look through their books, go from recommendations. Don't just walk into your local one without researching. That's just my opinion, because I have seen, especially now tattoos are becoming more popular, I've seen some really bad artwork on people. So yeah, just make sure that you go, you can have an open dialogue with your tattoo artist and tell them exactly what they want. If they do the first sketch and you're not happy with it, then tell them that they need to make it bigger, smaller, change this, change that. Don't be afraid, it's going to be on your body forever, and you're paying them a lot of money to do the tattoos. So if you have any further questions about this, let me know down below and tell me what some of your tattoo stories are, because it'd be lovely to hear them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.